We're Lutherans, after all. We're the church that's based on grace. Martin Luther, after all, was kicked out of the church because he insisted that the heart of God was of grace and forgiveness. But we Lutherans can get just as judgmental at times. In fact, every part of the people of God can get judgmental at times. Someone once said that inside each one of us is a rabid fundamentalist who finally is going to draw some line in the sand as to who's in and who's out of the family of God. We may draw that line in different places. We may not all agree what the line is, but sometimes inside each of us some situation arises in which we are a strict moralist who takes all of the complexities of human life and shrinks them down, decreases them down to some clear set of what's good and what's bad. And on that basis, we judge one another and say who's in and who's out. And so like the dinner host who invited Jesus to dinner, Simon the Pharisee, we are sometimes aghast at who Jesus welcomes to the table. Now, part of our work as God's people is to distinguish between good and evil. Part of our work is we are called to be ethical people, so part of our work is to try to determine what is good and what is bad and to live the good. This gospel text isn't suggesting that just anything goes. But the question, I think, that we always have to ask ourselves is that when we're looking at someone, when we're judging someone, are we really seeing them the way God sees them? Or are we somehow putting limits on the expansiveness of God's love? Are we somehow constricting them to smaller than who God sees them to be? In just a couple of minutes, we'll sing the sermon hymn, and there's a phrase in the third verse of that sermon hymn that we'll sing in a moment that always strikes me about this. It's from the hymn, There's a Wideness in God's Mercy, and the third verse goes, "For the love of God is broader than the measures of our mind, and the heart of the eternal is most wonderfully kind. But we make this love too narrow by false limits of our own, and we magnify its strictness with a zeal God will not own." We make this love too narrow by false limits of our own. Jesus invites us to the wideness of God's love. Jesus invites us to the table where all are welcome. And we're called certainly to live as God's good people, and we're called to challenge each other. But finally, it's God seeing us with that wide mercy that welcomes us all. And here's the good news in that. Here's the good news. If the woman of sin is welcome to the table, if Lily is welcome to the table, then you and I have a chance too. We're welcome to the table as well. Because we all come here carrying something. We all carrying some struggle, some self-judgment, some way in which we're not all that we want to be. But God delights in us and cares for us and loves us. Jesus, at the very end of the story, turns to the woman and says, "Your faith has saved you." And Jesus says to us, your faith has saved you. Your ability to trust and hold on to God's mercy, that's what saves you. Not your religiosity, not your attendance at church, not your social status, not your accumulated wealth, not anything you've done or anything you are. It's your faith that saves you. It's God's love that embraces you that saves you. Go in peace.